Ja, en dat programma gaat dan ook even over Ira Cohen. Hij was vorig jaar in Nederland. Toen stond de toren van Babel er nog in Ruigoord. U weet het, dat ding dat in de millenniumnacht in vlammen opging. En Ira Cohen was vorig najaar ook in Amsterdam op bezoek. Hij is een Beat Generation poet. Een van de mensen die hebben gewerkt en werken op de wijze van bijvoorbeeld Allen Ginsberg. Een dichter, een schrijver, een filmmaker, een imageman. We laten u zien hoe hij de toen in aanbouw zijnde toren van Popkebakker, de toren van Babel, bezoekt. Hoe je daar de magiër waardig, de tovenaar waardig, een ei begraaft. Hoe hij deelneemt aan wat Ruigoord eigenlijk is. Een wat vreemde, alternatieve, artistieke, maar vooral bezielde gemeenschap. Ira Cohen is dit weekend dus ook weer in Ruigoord tijdens het Woord in Ruigoord. Als dichter, als performer. Zijn films zullen vertoond worden. Kortom, het wordt weer een fantastische Woord in Ruigoord met onder meer Ira Cohen. Iemand die door de mensen van Ruigoord gewaardeerd wordt omdat hij die band met de Amerikaanse Beat Generation, de mensen uit de 50e jaren, zo duidelijk en eigenlijk als een van de laatste weet te bezielen. Ira Cohen hier over de kale vlakte van Ruigoord. Toen de Afrika-haven werd aangelegd. U weet het, die is bijna klaar. En dit weekend dus in Ruigoord. En de vliegtuigen boven Ruigoord, want dat is de aanvliegroute met dit soort weer. Ira Cohen, altijd fotograferend. In een wel heel, bijna bizarre ansenering daar in Ruigoord. Dat gebouw van pallets. Allerlei andere bouwsels die er al tijdens het santueel stonden. Maar dit staat nog overeind. En blijft ook overeind staan. En mag ook overeind blijven staan. Maar het gaat wel in de fik. Op het millenniumpunt. Betreden op eigen risico. Want wat hier gebouwd is, is een soort fort. Een soort kasteel. Een toren van Babel. Een symbool ook. Een symbool van verbroedering. En misschien een symbool van het feit dat we elkaar nog steeds in de wereld niet gevonden hebben. Want dat was die oorspronkelijke toren van Babel ook. Rijken naar de goden. Rijken naar de hemel. En God zei op een gegeven moment, dat gaat te ver. En hij sloeg ze met de verwarring van de taal. Van de verschillende talen. Dat is het verhaal van de toren van Babel. En de toren van Babel van Ruigoord moet misschien op een andere manier dat verhaal weer omdraaien. Terugbrengen tot werkelijk met elkaar communiceren. Ira Cohen klimt naar boven. En dan in die toren een hele gemeenschap. Een groep mensen die daar langer of korter verblijft, daar woont. Het is bijna een Shakespeareaanse theatersituatie.
I can see the future from here. What can spring up in this area? There's something beautiful about to come. What is it, 98 days to the millennium? Asher Pasha Vinir Mukta, freed from the fetters of hope. I wish that for all of you. Got that when I said that? I'm saying that message is important. Asher Pasha Vinir Mukta means freed from the fetters of hope. If you sing that every morning when you wake up, your whole life will change.
No hope. Why no hope?
No, just freed from the fetters of hope. Freed from the chains of hope. It doesn't say there's no hope. Okay. We can't live without hope, but we're freed from the chains of hope. Love is beautiful, but you can be chained by love also. Well, you can be freed by love, I think. So, I'm looking for a good camera angle, just to take the perfect still photograph.
Okay. You going?
I think so. Yeah, we're going.
Thanks again. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, we have to get to church on time. That's the song. Get me to the church on time.
Church on time.
Yeah, this is a church too.
Yeah, church is coming here.
So these are eggs, you know. This is, we're egg worshippers here. At least I am an egg worshiper, not an ego worshiper, an egg worshiper. And in this perfect shape, everything will come from this shape. I'm going to leave one of these eggs here. We'll bury it someplace in the Tower of Babel. Maybe it will hatch, even though it's hard-boiled. Things may be running backwards after the next millennium. You know what I mean? Maybe the whole film is going to be running backwards to the prehistoric golden time, to the Paleolithic golden age. You know, some people think the Paleolithic is the golden age. People didn't have to work and food fell off trees. Animals came to you to be eaten. You know that. Okay, so I want to read a few lines here saying this. I'm going to eat the millennium, fill my head with African gold, look at tectonic maps of Venus, check out the hotspots. I'm not speaking well. I'll try it again. I'm going to eat the millennium, fill my head with African gold, look at tectonic maps of Venus, check out the hotspots, clean the mirror, say hello to another night, sleeping on sharp corners. I'll turn the pages of the giraffe book with my eyes closed and wear the giraffe hat for the big audition when the next dawn finally arrives. There goes sugar walking around, but nothing is free except you and me. You have to be crazy to expect any more. Time is what keeps the light from reaching us. That's my message for the day. He's looking at you. Okay, he's looking at you again. So we're going to bury one egg here, okay? So that's part of it to give the power. Don't mention it.
I give you beter one.
Yes.
Wissel!
Thank you. Het is een beetje plat gestampt op de rondkant. Many people have been walking around it already.
That's okay.
It's really
As long as we have a little
harsh.
room.
Here we go. We're gonna stop for the egg.
Relax. Alert.
I think that's good. You think that's deep enough? You're doing a good job.
And control.
There we go. Okay. Okay, hey. First we put it to the third eye. We say Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Okay. Shanti, I hope this egg will bring good fortune and grow into some future possibility.
It's dilemma.
After this
Eggs
place.
or the chicken.
Yeah.
This
Not
kind of
which
dilemma,
comes, no, no.
Jaja.
Which comes
When you
first,
get
you
it,
mean?
so who comes first? Who comes first, the eggs or the chicken? If you answer me with this, you can do kind of ceremony. You put in the ground,
Yeah.
you can bounce
Okay.
off the eggs.
Actually, the chicken comes first.
Okay then?
The answer may grow in the
Now
ground.
it's dilemma
you know.
circle. Who born
It may grow
first,
in the ground,
chicken
the answer. I
or
think.
eggs? This was dilemma.
It's not a dilemma, it's just a beautiful mystery.
Okay then.
Long live the mystery. Oh, this is a nice coverlet. It's a nice blanket, huh? Whoops. Okay.
Harry done.
Okay, thank you. You did a great job. Look, I want to thank you very much. Yes. I see in your eyes the new millennium already is arising. Good, good. What's your name? Femke. Oh, what a nice name. My name is Ira. Yeah, we can do that. We don't want someone to trip on it.
No, because it's not
Amsterdam means a lot to me. Holland means a lot to me because I spent a few years here in Holland living in cracked houses and doing all the things that all of you have done. Broje van Koje experiences at 3 and 4 in the morning. And maybe I'll even find some poems I wrote when I was here. I don't know where to begin, but okay, here's something, it's not really a poem. Gerard Malanga, a poet friend of mine, was asking me in an interview, his first question was a real easy one. He said, where does poetry come from? So I said, I knew you were going to ask me questions like that, especially early in the day, where does poetry come from? Then he said again, so then I went on, I gave this answer. If I can find it, I'll say you don't have to tell you everything about Cocteau and Orpheus and taking angelic dictation over a car radio and stuff like that. And then I mentioned how you become a medium and it passes through you. So other times you do it, okay, it's a struggle. Then I say, I once read a book about the Kalahari Bushman by Lawrence van der Post. I guess he's a Dutchman, right? He's what? English?
It's a Dutch name, but I think the guy is English.
Really? Okay. That's why he writes so well. So that's why you can read him in English. You know, a lot of things in Dutch should really be translated into English. Like all the books of Simon and Hans, for example. But somehow I hope that will happen before this next millennium is over. So I once read a book about the Kalahari Bushmen by Lawrence van der Post. Can you imagine living your whole life wandering as nomads led only by flashes of lightning. Thinking about this, I wrote in my notebook the other day, wherever lightning flashes, water is sure to be found. I guess you can say the same thing about poetry. Okay, here's a New York poem. It's dedicated to Lakshmi and Andre, two children. It's called Bright Penny Meditation, and it's subtitled Frankenstein in the Park. Sitting with Mr. Baum, taking the November sun in Central Park, our backs against the slanted windows of the Metropolitan Museum, where smart sunbathers come and sit out of sight behind the gently sloping knoll, not so far from where Jennifer Levin was strangled by that shitheel. This is a famous murder case in New York in the last years. White West Highland terriers look out in a perfect triangle like temple dogs in China or Nepal. You wouldn't ever know that the cancer is slowly spreading, that a few cans of tuna are not enough to save the day. We don't know where the girl is. She was an artist who tried to kill herself, put a gun in her mouth, and blew away both of her eyes, she too surviving to this day. You'd never know that even the sun will not shine forever. Can we take consolation in some distant sun or star, some parallel universe which just is in its own way, not better or worse? A play with or without an audience still plays while we lay our snares. The other day, Karen called to ask me Frankenstein's first name. She had a bet, and then I said, Victor. But today I thought, Timothy, Alfred, Gregory, Andre Frankenstein indeed, Ira, Raphael, Lakshmi, Faye, even David Frankenstein. And then I began to laugh inside. And when the laughter subsided, I saw the joke and the power of the name and what power it holds over all that cries, that lives or dies inside. I am what I am, Popeye said, and in this man, perhaps for a moment, touches God. Everyone assumes that Frankenstein is the name of the monster, but there is no monster, only the myth of a maker who no longer exists. Here's a little poem for Jimi Hendrix, which I wrote on the 10th anniversary of Life and Death Paradiso, September 18th, 1980. I'm just skipping around. I have a lot of poems here, but it seems to make sense to read it to you. It's called Immortal Idol. I photographed Jimmy in Mylar, and this is partly a description of the time that he came to my loft and other thoughts on the 10th anniversary, I guess, of his death, in fact, I don't know. But no, his life, maybe it was his birthday. When you put on your coat and started down the stairs, how I thought, no, he can't leave like that. Then you turned the mirror's corner, walking into cool drifts of absolute reverie. O poet of the averted glance and the steel string, seeking your own image in the butterfly wing of sleep. An empty airplane falls in flames, and you, game for any fling, rise above the living by virtue of your sound, which is everlasting. Of all the dead singers, you are the most alive, and after all these years, you are still running in the gold, Jimmy.
En dit weekend dus het woord in Ruigoord met onder meer Ira Cohen.